Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone had an awesome holiday season and welcome to 2023's new podcast season. And we're back to how the originals were. So guys, when I first started the podcast, I really didn't give a shit and I was putting stuff out there that I wanted people to learn. So that's why I do the podcast. I want people to learn. I just tell you like it is. There's a lot of bullshit out there. Since I started the podcast, there's even more bullshit out there. So we're back to the original stuff. Now, again, I may trigger some of you guys. If you don't like it, just don't listen. So there's plenty of other podcasts out there. But if you really want to get better, be a better person, be a better angler, this is the podcast for you because I just tell it like it fucking is. So the fishing industry is really changing. I see a lot of different stuff out there. A lot of the old guard is retired. I'm just seeing a lot more changes. So a lot of new people coming into the industry. I don't know what to say. Some of them, good luck to you. But I'm here to help the new guys that really want to get better. And like I said, I operate on sort of a code as far as old school techniques that were taught to me. Respect on the water, being innovative, trying different things. Don't go out there and fish the same damn spot all the time and overfish it. Don't be using the same lures all the time, like the Nomad lures. Guys, everybody's out there using a Nomad lure. Yes, the fish were stupid during the month of December. They were stupid. So many different reasons. We had a really good migration of fish, stabilized pressure. You had some of the guys had their first epic bite because of the Arctic cold front that we had, which stabilized the pressure for several days prior to its arrival. If you knew anything about that, I write about it in my blog. I give you guys all the details you need to put together why that bite happened. Now, we are getting into January. Things are going to get a little different out there, okay? And I'm sure if you guys are seeing it. A lot of, you're still going to catch a few fish, but it's going to, things are going to change a little bit. And the only way you can stay on top of that is, number one, I'm going to help you guys get a little better. You got to do the homework, and you got to change things up, okay? So I know a lot of you guys are using plugs right now. Plugs are awesome. I love them. You guys all know that I use the Halco. Let me give you guys a little history here. Nomad is from Australia. Awesome. So is Halco. Halco's been around a lot longer than Nomad, and they have a really good wiggle. It's about the wiggle, guys. That's what it is. Certain times a year, Wahoo like a different wiggle. Okay? So I'm just going to leave it at that. But this generation of Nomad is working really well. I'm very happy with the results I'm seeing. Some of the guys in my rigging crew are doing very well on the darker pink tiger stripe Nomad is doing very well early mornings. So that's another one for you guys to look at. And over the years, I have been like, about the Nomad plug, but there's a reason because they just weren't tuned right. They were junk. I bought a couple defective ones. So I'm just being honest. So I'm just going to tell you like it is. But I'm seeing a big improvement with the lures, and I'm liking the way they wiggle. So if you're new to Wahoo fishing, I really recommend that you go out and you pick one up. Now I have the recommendation for what I like is a Nomad with the dots on it, more of that sardine pattern. So that's what I would recommend. Now I have that in a blog on my website at goodkarmasportfishing.com. So make sure you guys check that out. I put a lot of information in about Wahoo fishing in the blogs, how to choose colors. I'm really liking the new Freddie Collins sea witches. I've been using those. A lot of guys in my rigging crew are having a lot of success on his witches as well as myself. So you can hit him up on Instagram, Freddie Collins, Instagram, or on his Facebook page. Send him a message. He's kick-ass as far as his customer service goes. Bait strips. We're in wintertime. I have a lot of luck with bait strips this time of year. Colder water. It's just that time of year where I think I have a lot more luck with bait strips than I do trolling plugs. So, but everything is different. It just depends on the watercolor. The fish are seeing a lot more baits out there right now, so the bite is a little strange. You got spear divers in the water now. So unless the fish are really stupid, then the bite windows are a lot shorter than I've seen in the past. So you just got to really mix it up. Try to fish days when it's lighter as far as traffic goes. That's what I recommend you do. But there's still plenty of fish out there to be caught. You just got to be at the right place at the right time. Capitalize on your bite. Okay, capitalizing on your bite using the Nomad. So, yep, I'm going to talk a little bit about those Nomad fishing plugs. Okay, so I know you guys get a lot of bites on them. I know you guys miss a lot of them. So that's just how plug fishing works for you guys that are new to it. My best advice to you guys is to ditch the wire on the plugs. Yep, ditch the wire. And it is what it is when you bite them off. It's just part of the game. But you're going to get a hell of a lot more bites, and your baits are going to run a lot better, okay? So I would use 60-pound fluorocarbon, and that's honestly what I would use. And then you can step it up to 80, 100, or whatever. But in the mornings, you can get away with that kind of stuff. So something to think about. And if you're not getting the bites. Now, if you're running planers and you're not getting the bites, pull the planer and then run it on the flat line. I'm seeing a difference in running planers. If I'm not getting the bites, I had one day where I'm out there, I'm running planers, and then I'm not getting the bites, and I pull a planer, I run a flat, and sure as shit, I got a bite. I was able to run a lot faster and get the plug down deeper, and that's what it took. So just think of it like this, is that some days the fish want fish presented to them at higher speeds, and you got a planer outfit. My system is I'm able to, I have an inline planer setup that I run, but I'm able to convert it over to running it right off the into a high-speed setup as well. So that can make this switch in a matter of seconds. So, and it's just the way my rods are designed. I had rods that are designed for planer and for high speed, so I can just make that switch really quick. That's something that you guys need to think about here, because if you're just running planers and you're not getting the bites and you're only running 10 miles an hour, now there's going to be days those high-speed guys are kicking your ass and you're not getting the bites because they want it presented to them at a faster rate. Now, if the current's ripping and you're trying to get your bait to run at a certain speed, you have to remember is that your top water speed is different than your low water speed. And that plug or that sea witch may not be running fast enough under the water versus the top. So not a lot of guys talk about that, but that's something that the salmon guys that troll plugs, they use like these, they can show you the difference in the speeds of underwater versus top. Okay. So what I did this year, what I just started doing is if I'm not getting the bites on the downriggers, or if I feel that I just can't get the speed right because of the sea conditions, that's another thing. If your sea conditions aren't right and the fish want it at a certain speed, then you're not going to get the bites versus the high-speed guys, okay? The high-speed guys are going to get the bites in those conditions. So what I've done, I've caught three beautiful fish this year. I went ahead and just pulled the I went ahead and pulled the planer, and I ran the plug on the flat, and I dropped it way the hell back, and voila, wahoo. So minutes later, ran over the same fish. Now, a lot of people think that you got to get your baits way the hell down there. But listen, the fish are eating flying fish, and I'm not sure how deep flying fish swim, down the 50 foot. I don't know, but most of the flying fish that I see are 15 feet to 20 feet below the water. So if they're eating flyers, then those fish are looking up, waiting to ambush those fish. So again, something to think about. There's so much that goes on through your brain out there as a captain. And all the good captains, the ones that are really trying are really thinking about how to get that bite. Especially when you're on the troll and you're marking them, you're seeing them, you're not getting them to come up. How are you going to raise them? Do you need to put a dredge in the water? That's something that I'm working on as well. That's something I'm sharing in my rigging crew. I'm going to teach the guys how to run a dredge and a bait strip dredge that I made that is going to raise fish into at higher speeds, so off a downrigger, while I'm running another bait, which is something that I've been working on my own. So I'm getting ready to implement that into my charters here pretty soon, because I've almost perfected it. So before I put anything in the charter, I have to make sure that I perfected it on my own. So just something to think about there. If I have guides listening to this podcast, which I know I do. So before you put anything new in the play, you really got to master that yourself. That includes like advertising yourself as like this expert in the industry. So I'm by far, like, when it comes to fishing planers and stuff, I'm always learning, and I'm trying to learn something every day. I'm trying to make my rigs better. I want it like this, because I got to tell you, and it's just crazy. I see a lot of guys using a lot of smaller swivels, for example. I overkill everything. Big swivels on my planers. I've got my rods designed to where I have big eyes, titanium guides, so I can rip my swivels through there with ease without busting them. So those are the things I have to make sure happen. I work by myself. I want to make sure I have the absolute best gear I have. I can reel my swivels through. It's like the mutton crusher rig. When I see guys still hand lining muttons and big groupers, I got to tell you what, when you're a charter boat guide and you're hand lining a big grouper for a client and you lose that grouper, that's on you, okay? That client's going to blame you, and that's how it's going to work, and your tip's probably going to be pretty fucking light. So that's one of the reasons why I use the mutton crusher rig. So if you want to learn how to do the mutton crusher rig, that's available in my course, in my tackle shop. And plus, it's super easy. I can adjust my leaders accordingly. Mutton fishing's like when it's easy, it's easy. When it's hard. So there is no giving up in my game. So I don't fish the moons. I got to fish it all the time. I see the same guys come out there to shoot the YouTube celebrities come out there to shoot their videos when it's easy. But I don't see them out there shooting it when it's hard. So there you go. Again, I'm back to the usual shit. I'm just going to tell you like it is. If you don't like it, don't listen and go someplace else. So there's plenty of other content you can listen, but if you want to get better, I'm here to make you better. Okay, so I kind of babbled and rambled there, but that's how my old podcasts are. So there's a lot of nuggets in between there. Okay, now there's a better way to make those planer bridles as well. That's something that I'm that I'm working on in Crew 2. So Crew 2, so excited about Crew 2. Crew 2 is the next level learning from the Crew 1. Crew 1's awesome. Those guys are getting a lot of good shit in there this year. I got a good lineup for them. But I have another crew, an advanced crew called Crew 2, and super stoked. The first meeting here is next week. And I've got people already signed up, so we're going to get rolling on it here within the next week or so. So if you're interested in signing up for Crew 2, give me a call. Actually, don't give me a call. Don't do it. Don't call me.
Don't do it.
Don't call me. I won't answer the phone.
Don't answer the phone.
I won't answer. GoodKarmaRyan@gmail.com. You can also send me a direct message to Instagram. Okay, so the cost for Crew 2. Crew 2, you can make monthly payments. The monthly payment is $279 a month. Again, that's $279 a month for Crew 2. Or there's a pay in full option for Crew 2, and that cost is $3,348. Now, if you want to join Crew 1 and 2, that cost is $299 a month, and there is a pay in full option for Crew 1 and 2 for the year, and that cost is $3,588 a year. Okay? So, again, Crew 2 is $279 a month, and you have a pay in full option at $3,348 per year. Now, if you want to join Crew 1, the cost for Crew 1 is $49 a month, and there's a pay in full option for a Crew 1, and that's $588 a year. Super excited to get rolling on Crew 2. what's included in Crew 2? Okay, so Crew 2, we meet twice a month. And the first meeting of the month is an intense lesson. What are we going to cover? The first meeting, we're going to go over Wahoo fishing secrets. I'm going to show you guys in the group the Wahoo fishing spots. There you go. I'm an open book in that crew only, not on my fishing charters. And we're also going to go over some seasonal things as far as the wiggle. What's Wahoo like as far as the wiggle goes? Certain times a year, there is a wiggle that they like, and they show preferences. And yeah, so I'm just going to leave it at that. That's going to be the first crew meeting. Super excited about it. We're going to dig deep into rigging. I'm going to go over certain things about what I do, and again, what I do versus what other people do. You know, it works for me. What works for me may not work for you. So you always got to keep that in mind. So it's taken a long time to perfect what I do, and a lot of practice and what works for my boat. So again, what works for me may not work for you. But yeah, that's all I got for today. So I hope you guys really got something out of the podcast when it comes to the Nomad plugs and hooks and all that stuff. What it really comes down to, guys, and I can't stress this enough, is confidence in what you're sending out there. Okay? Have confidence in what you're putting out. If you're changing out your shit too often, you're never going to get a bite. If you think that the only thing that mutton snappers eat is Speedos, you are full of shit. It's not how it works. I'm seeing so many different variations of what fish want right now. It's amazing. And if you're not giving them what they want, you're not going to catch the size of fish that you want in good numbers. Now, yeah, you can catch them when they're biting. But then again, like this moon phase, a lot of guys are going to catch them. Just watch. And then it'll get tough again. And then you'll see very dwindled numbers. And so just keep that in mind. It's about consistency, not about who looks like a hero on the full moon. So just there you go. Or in the summer when it's relatively easy every week, and during the month of May and April and May and June. And so the purpose of this podcast is I want guys to learn that to catch fish when it's hard, to catch fish consistently, to change things up, to make things, to go fish new areas, to just know that there's a lot of fish out there. You may not think there is, but there's a lot of fish. And a lot of fish get lockjaw. It's just, it is what it is. So I'm encouraging you guys to really step up your game this year. If you see another guy sitting on a small wreck, leave him the fuck alone. I had a guy run up on me over the weekend. It was expected. Started dropping jigs and saw me catch one, and there you go. So he went ahead and told his 7 brothers. So funny. It's so funny how the fishing community works. There's a reason why I don't work with people. So except for my own community and my own guys that I really have built awesome relationships with. So Good Karma Sport Fishing rigging crews, shout out to you guys. You guys have really kicked ass over the years. The guys that listen to my podcasts, that email me and actually say thank you for all the tips, those are the encouragement that why I keep doing it, because I know that there's guys out there that are thankful and they really do enjoy listening and do pick up on good nuggets. And for my clients, my charter fishing clients that listen to the podcast, that support Good Karma Sport Fishing, that have their own boats, that really, they support me by coming and booking trips, and they'll send me nice emails and texts over the course of the years. Now I'm seeing their kids grow up and they're running their own boats. And I'm seeing guys that showed up at the dock in high school now that would see me in year 1 and 2 now are charter boat captains down in Marathon. So I really, it's pretty cool. So to see guys that I knew when they were young now, or like in high school, like are now captains, and kids that fished with me when they were young. I've had a couple kids that fished with me when they were young, and they were scared to be out on the ocean, and now they're captains now, are working on boats because I had inspired them that's what they wanted to do. So I just think it's cool to see that. So shout out to all the real people that listen to the podcast and support Good Karma Sport Fishing. I know you're out there, and for me, it's not about like the flash and dash and all that stuff. And I believe in hard work, getting dirty, telling people like it is, being yourself. And if somebody doesn't like it, fuck them. So that's the type of people that you need in your life. You don't want anybody in there that's fucking going to turn heel on you. And I can smell that a mile away. I know when somebody's there for the wrong reasons. And I encourage people, if you have somebody that's in your life that you don't want them in there, but you're there because you like to party with them, or they're like just somebody to hang out with at night, and you go out to the bars, or listen, it's just a point in time with that kind of shit. You want good people in your life. You want good fishing buddies. I see guys that are fishing together now that really do enjoy being with each other and being out there and fishing. And that's what it's all about. Being able to go out there, go fishing whenever you want, come down to the Keys with your buddies, the people that truly are your friends, that really help split the costs with you, that are there for the right reasons, that support you, and they're truly good friends. So I see that now with folks that come fishing with me. And yeah, sometimes, you just got to kick somebody to the curb and move on. So, and I guarantee it might hurt for a little bit, but you're going to be in a lot better shape for it. I had some heel turns this year, and yeah, it hurt. I'll be honest with you, it hurt. I'm only human, but I also learned from it too, and deep down, I'm a pretty compassionate person, and I do care. That's why I run the trips that I do, because I care about my people. I want them to have the absolute best time they can. I want them to catch the greatest fish that they can. I just care so much that, it's just how I am. It's in my nature. So anyways, I just kind of ran it on. Don't buy any Bitcoin this year. And make sure you support your local Dairy Queen. That's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram, Good Karma Sport Fishing _FL_Keys. Eat the chicken nuggets. Don't buy a gym membership. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good. Oh, and one last thing. Wahoo do eat small baits, and very consistently. Don't believe all that bullshit you're hearing. There you go. Bonus chicky nugget.